Hello, 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 everyone. Let me know if everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And tell me what you see on the screen right now.
Housing strategist, and it has your face.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to share my screen because I have a PowerPoint and it's giving me problems. 1 minute. So, everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see if it will allow me to share my screen. Or what can you see on the screen?
The same.
Oh, so you can only see me.
Yeah, I can see you, and then it has you're in a circle, but it has your name and that you're a housing strategist
Oh,
and,
okay.
and your business logo.
Let me see, because I clicked on screen sharing, and there's usually, every time you do a meeting, the devices always try to act up. Let me.
Mhm.
Okay, so what we're going to cover today, I thank all of you guys for signing up and registering. And I know that there's a lot of financial courses out there. And for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm pretty sure everyone here does, but anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Sharon D. Parry, and I am a housing strategist. I established my company, a women's ministry, since 2014, July 4th of 2014, because if anyone knows what July 4th is, it's Independence Day. And it was significant for me because it's independence from the world and into what God have called us to be. And God helped me to realize that many of us do not know how to handle finances. So there's a lot of issues going on that shouldn't be going on because we do not know how to handle finances properly. Okay, so let me see if I could. Let me send a message. Several people are trying to get in and they cannot get in. And I think it's because they haven't checked their email, because the email has a password code for you to get in once you register. Did everyone here get their password code after they registered for them to get in? Because some people said that they can't get in, but the email has a password in it.
It gave me a link.
And the link was via your email, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me. My secretary is somewhere else, so I'm doing the secretarial work and the CEO work at the same time. Okay. So everyone has to check their emails for the links. Okay, so one of the first things, does everyone on here um know or think they know how to save?
Yeah, well, I'm decent.
So anyone else wants to input if they think they know how to save?
I don't know how to save. That's what I'm struggling with at the moment. I just put myself on a budget.
Oh, okay, okay. Um,
I think I'm at saving. You know, I want to increase my knowledge.
okay. Is saving is base one of the basic foundations that's needed in building wealth and riches. Okay, because wealth includes more than money, but we're focusing right now in this on the money part, which is the riches. Wealth encompasses a lot more than just finances. Okay, so I'm still trying to get this my PowerPoint to work. I'm still trying to get that to work, and it doesn't want to work for some reason now.
What is it telling you?
Is I clicked on share screen, and then I clicked on allow to share screen. You can share the window or you can share the whole screen. The window, um, let me see if it'll let it go. Wait. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm letting some more people in. So, what can you guys see right now?
I see your Zoom. You're sharing your screen, but we just see your Zoom.
Let me see. Oh. Okay, I would like for you guys to see the PowerPoint, but the computer is refusing to share the PowerPoint.
So I know when you're sharing your screen, it usually has different window options
Mm-hmm.
to select. So make sure that your window of where your PowerPoint is, that one is selected. Because right now we see you zooming us.
Okay. Give me
So
a minute.
stop the share. I'm gonna walk you through it. Okay, so stop the share screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now go to share screen, and then what will populate, you should have different squares like showing like different windows, whatever you have up. You see that?
It says allow to share window or allow to share screen.
Allow to share screen. Now, do you see like the different um options of like what's on your computer? Does it show
Uh,
you that?
are you guys still seeing yourself now?
We see you.
Yeah, it's refusing to work. It's literally refusing to work. It won't work.
Do you want me to share the PowerPoint? And then you tell me when to go to the next slide?
Absolutely. That's my secretary that's talking right now. I'm telling you, the CEO needs a secretary because we get absolutely, absolutely. Let me see. Multiple participants can screen share. I just activated multiple participants.
All right, we got it.
Okay. Thank you, Lord, for a secretary. Okay. So again, we're talking about building a foundation. In order for anyone to build something, you need a blueprint and you need to know what to start with in order to make sure that whatever you build on it can be sustained. Okay. And the Bible lets us know that in order for you to build something, you have to count the cost. I'm paraphrasing. You have to count the cost in order for you to build something, or you become a parable. Well, basically, people will say, you know how people say they live like the Joneses? I've never personally myself never met the Joneses, but everyone knows when a person in America, when someone says that the person is living like the Joneses, they know exactly what it means. But it'll be the opposite. Your name will be used in the context of don't be like that person that tried to build something and didn't count the cost. They didn't do the proper planning and preparation. They didn't have the proper discipline in order to execute it from the beginning, to have some type of plan in the middle, because there will be certain things that happen, and to be able to finish it to its full course. Okay, go to the next slide for me, please. Okay, so one of the first things that we see on here is starting a budget. Okay, and I just told you guys this right here, the scripture from Luke 14:18 and 29. Right? Does anyone on here tell me, because this is interactive, tell me, what do you understand a budget as? What do you need to create a budget? If everyone's shy, I'm going to say it, but I'm giving you guys the opportunity, and don't feel like you're going to say the wrong thing, because everyone needs a point of learning.
The question is, what do we need to start a budget? That's the question.
Yes.
Okay. Well, to start a budget, you need to be clear of your finances, what's coming in and what's coming out. Listing your expenses,
Mm-hmm.
Listing your different, revenue streams as well. And then allocating how much money you're going to set aside for each line item.
Yes, absolutely. You hit all of it at the first go. Next slide. Okay. I have been speaking to a lot of people. I know several people that are homeless. I've been homeless myself. 2 years and 8 months. With that type of length of homelessness, you count the days in homelessness, right? 4 people, 2 dogs, and 1 turtle in a crossover SUV. It was tight. Okay. And that's when I started saving again. Because what do we think stops people from saving? What stops people from saving? Anyone could come in and say, what do they think will stop them from saving?
Impulsive buys.
Yes. Anything else?
Not having a job.
Yes.
living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what? Anyone else? One more person. One more person.
I heard a saying of like people thinking that the money is gonna like if they save it, the money's not gonna stay there, or like the money is meant to be spent, or like it can't like it's something. It's called like they have to spend the money because they're afraid that they're gonna lose it or
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm here to let you guys know that while I was homeless, right, my family and I started saving. So all of those things are correct in a certain mindset, if you have that mindset. Now, if you have a mindset that says that I want to save no matter the circumstance I'm in, there is a way to do it. Okay. I started saving with 8 cents. I remember I was in a park because we dropped the kids to school and we went to the park um, to, relax, take a nap at that time because I was working at that time, but I couldn't work full time because when you're not able to lay down, a lot of stuff happen. Your body starts to break down. Your spine is not able to decompress. It's a lot. I'm also a registered nurse for many, many years. I'm not going to say the amount of years, a long time, right? So there's a lot of health issues when you're not able to lay down because we allowed our children to lay down to help in their growth and they can be rested when they go to school. I was in the park, right? And I had to start over because um, I was in the hospital. I was close to dying. I was in the ICU and my credit went just downhill. My car was repossessed. My mom had access to my bank accounts um, to pay some of the bills, but some of the bills was not able to be covered. And I started with 8 cents. 8 cents. And when I started with 8 cents, I'm gonna let you guys know this. I felt horrible. I felt like, what can 8 cents do? And this was in the year 2017. It was in the so it wasn't that far for long ago. It was in the year 2017. And if I can start with 8 cents, can I want you guys to guess how much I was able to save while still homeless? No, I wasn't able to work full time. I was only able to work once a week because my knees and my hips could not bend. My knees and my hips could not bend because I was not able to lay down. How much do you guys think I was able to save while homeless? Because I want to crush all those ideas of people thinking that they can't save.
$10,000.
I was able to save over $10,000 and it only started with 8 cents, 8 pennies. And there are companies out there who will give you the ability to start back over when you have to start back over. And one of those people, and I tell everyone this, is Capital One. They specialize in people starting over. They specialize in people starting over. Layla, do you need access to sharing again?
No, I opened it. Oh my goodness. I opened it on my phone and tablet, and I was looking at my tablet
Mm-hmm.
at my phone. I'll open it right back up right now.
Okay. So is anyone that's on here, what do you think thus far if you're not able to save? Do you think you're not able to save? Because this is not in the year 19 something. I'm talking about 2017, right before the pandemic. And I was homeless during the pandemic also. What do you guys think thus far?
Nothing can stop us.
Nothing can stop you from saving. Now, when you first start, you are going to feel like this money is not going anywhere. One of the keys to saving, because since I don't have a PowerPoint, I have it all, in my mind. One of the keys to saving is put your money in a high yield savings account. All right. If you put your money into a checking account that does not have a high yield savings, your money is not going, okay, you can pause there. Your money is not going to grow the way how you need to grow. You need someone else to put money with your money. Okay? Another thing you have to do is track your spending. And it is best when you first get into this to use an app to help you. Oh, okay. Okay. Wait, let me open the chat. There's questions in the chat. What time is it? Because the time is going so fast. Okay. It's so much information. That's why we have a course. It's a lot of information, and I cannot give you all the information now. We have a course on our website. Um, well, a high yield savings account is a savings account that does not have a debit card. Do not get a debit card. Do not get that little card that people like swiping. Do not get it for that account. You get it for a checking account. A checking account is what you use to pay for everyday expenses. A savings account is exactly for what the word says, for you to save for a later time. And that savings account is best used for investing later on. But if you don't start somewhere, you're going to be in the same place later on in life. So right now, I can't think of the top of my head what the yield is. Let me think. I have several accounts.
For Capital One, it is 5.4, I believe. It's
Okay.
one of the highest in the world with Ally.
Okay, so we have Ally. So let me just give you a couple nuggets here. Um, we've got Ally, which is a high yield savings. We've got Marcus, that's by Goldman Sachs, which is a high yield savings. Capital One not only gives you a what do you call it, a debit card and a credit card to build your credit once you've fallen. They also you can apply for high yield savings, and they also have high yield savings accounts. Okay, so a high yield savings gives you interest on your money, and it's by a percentage. I hope that answers your question. So we talked, oh, okay, good. So we talked about tracking your spending. When you're new to something, it is best for you to get help and assistance in it, right? And set it up in a way that when you get paid from your job, the money is automatically taken out and put into your savings. What have people learned thus far of how much money you're supposed to save?
Is it 75%?
Not quite. Not quite. How much are you supposed to save? Anyone else?
Maybe like half of your paycheck?
No, not in this economic situation that we're in right now.
I,
Um I'm sorry.
I've heard three times your monthly expenses and like to start off with, and then like for like a safety net, and then I'm not sure how much after that, but I've also heard that as well.
Okay.
Isn't
Okay.
it 10%?
Yes, it is. It is suggested, highly suggested, for you to save 10%. So if you make $800, you put $80. If you make, because if you only make $10, you know you can put change in there, and change, it will look horrible, but I'm telling you, it adds up very fast with a high yield savings. It's 10%. Biblically, right? Um, God used Joseph when he was second in command, right? And Joseph put aside 1/5. That 20%. Now, the reason I say 10% is to start, because you're gonna feel like you can't afford anything if you put aside $1. In your mind, if you're not used to putting aside money, your mind, which is fair, is going to help make you believe that if I put aside $1, I cannot pay my phone bill. And when I say that, people are like, wait, but my phone bill is not $1. Exactly. It's not $1. And you can survive. I started with 8 cents. You can start with $1, but it's highly suggested to start with 10%. But with Joseph, when he was in Egypt, second in command under Pharaoh, he put aside 20% in the 7 years of plenty. And the reason why I tell people to put aside 10% now is because you're supposed to put 10% in your heavenly account and 10% in your natural earthly account. And when I say 10% in your heavenly account, I don't mean like you just throw the money and like, okay, God, it's very strategic. You ask God where to put this 10%, because Jesus said that what you do unto the least of these, he's talking about the people, you have done unto me. So we are supposed to sow in our heavenly storehouse 10%, and we're supposed to pay ourselves for saving to invest to be a good steward 10%. Is everyone following thus far? Anyone confused? I can say it a different way.
Got it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. The mic cut out.
Yes, we following.
Okay, okay. Okay. So there, one of the apps that you can use is it's called Every Dollar. You probably heard of it. And if you haven't, it's by Dave Ramsey. Most people have heard about Dave Ramsey. He's a Christian financial coach, and he teaches people finance, and he has an app to help you to learn budget so you can understand it and you can see it. And it's very, very, very intuitive for you to use. Okay, so in the chat, we have a question. What if you have more than one account? If do you put 10% in each account? Um, until you get to that point financially, right? Because you know you have rent, you have light, you have water, you have the necessities for your cost of living. I highly suggest you take your 10% and put the most, split it up if you have multiple accounts, and put the most in the highest yielding savings account. So if you have more than one high yield savings account, you put the most money in that account. That's what I do with my accounts, because I have several savings accounts. Okay. Layla, next slide. Oh, sorry, there's a question. Yes.
I don't know if you said this earlier, because my issue is that like my checkings and savings is in like the same. I could use like it's the same what is it called? The same bank, and I can see my savings next to my checking. So
Mm-hmm.
then I want to spend my savings. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, did you say that if there's a way to like separate it and not have these?
Yes, yes. I highly suggest people to separate it. That's why when people are new to saving, they say to separate the money so you don't see it, and set up your pay for your checking account to automatically send the money so you don't see the money. If until you get used to it, don't look at the money. Open another high yield savings account. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it does. Do I open it with another bank? Or
Yes, a high yield savings account bank. Yes.
okay.
Next slide. Okay, this is a very touchy topic right here. Because it's hard for people to distinguish their needs from their wants. Okay, and we are supposed to prioritize our spending, because I know some people who would oh, I'm sorry. Um yes, there are different companies. There's Ally, there's Marcus, there's Capital One. That's just true of three of them. There are other high yield, but we try to tell you the highest yield saving accounts. Okay. So there are several people that feel like they have to have something. If it's not a roof over your head, food, water, electricity, and transportation for you to get to work, you have to weigh those things. And when I talk about transportation, a lot of people spend money, and I'm saying this, and if this is any, let me just say this first before I say what I'm going to say. If there's anyone here that's done this, no one knows you've done this unless you say something. So don't say anything. Have people know that you have not done this. Okay. Um. So I have seen personally. I don't know if you guys have seen this. You know when tax season comes around, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that's um seen this. Has anyone here ever been to Walmart during after tax season, right after tax season? Anyone? Have they ever been to Walmart? Okay. Yeah, well,
Yes,
yeah.
we have. They buy all the TVs, they buy the electronics, they buy all
Mhm.
that crazy stuff.
Yes. Every single year, you see people buying a different car, right? Which is a lemon, because it breaks down on them. They go to the buy here, pay here, and not all the cars are bad, but they don't do the proper research. They just believe the salesperson who's trying to sell you a car, which is a bad idea to start with. And then at Walmart, like was said already, you see a new TV, and then not only a new TV every year, but a TV that cannot fit in the vehicle that they came to Walmart with. So you see people, and this happens at Costco too. I was at Costco after tax season, and people are standing up with TVs that cannot fit. in the vehicle. So that lets me know that there's a lot of people that need help in these areas, because there should be no reason every single year you have a TV that you need. How big is your house exactly that you need a TV every single it is it doesn't make any sense. A TV is a want. A TV is not a need. I'm telling you right now that I personally, at this point, I'm no longer homeless, but at personally at this point, I do not own a TV. If I'm already paying for a cell phone, I'm going to stream whatever I'm going to stream on the cell phone, because I do not want all these extra expenses, because I want my savings to be available when an opportunity come to invest. And we don't want to be the person that does not use the money that God have blessed us with, the energy and the strength to attain on this earth, to help people, by being the person that got the one coin that hid it in the dirt and did not invest it. The man told him, you could have even put it in a bank for it to be lent out, and you can get an increase on the money that was lent out. So God have, there's a lot of other scriptures, but it's in the course. I don't have it on here, about how to handle your money. Oh yes, and furniture, and furniture. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it. Furniture, TVs is yeah. So you have to be able to distinguish a need from a want. Okay, I'm hoping everyone understands what a need is. Um, but if you need more help, I also have a website for you to talk to me personally, right? It's SharonDParry.club, and you can set up an appointment for me to talk to you for 15 minutes free. And I can talk to you about your personal information that you do not want on here because it's being recorded. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so there's a question. If you're starting off with saving, should you go with Capital One or Marcus? What you should do is apply to both of these and see which one accepts you, because you have to apply online. These are online banks. That's why, okay, this is another nugget that I'm going to drop. Certain banks can give you high yields because they cut their overhead costs, meaning they don't have hundreds of branches, they don't have hundreds of employees, they don't have hundreds of light and water bills to pay for these branches. So the money goes down to the customer instead of paying for the brick and mortar bank. Okay, so you have to apply online and see which one accepts you. Okay, and I'm gonna give you guys another nugget, a suggestion. Take it or leave it, but if you leave it, it can cost. um when you apply for one of these high yield accounts and they give you an opportunity to get um a credit card after you open a savings, please, 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 please do not try to, what's a way I can say it? Do not try to use the bank's money that gave you the opportunity and not pay the bank back, because they're giving you the opportunity to start saving. And once they see that you understand the principle of saving, I am a witness. They lend you money. They lend you money, and they lend you money to get all types of stuff. But you have to know how to handle the money, and you have to know how to build the foundation properly in order to use those types of credits that they're giving. Because since I've been building my credit thus far, my secretary and my COO, who's on here, is a witness. I have two offers for unlimited credit cards. There's no cap on the credit cards. There's no limit. I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, they just have it all open to you. Okay, so you can get there, but you cannot try. I don't know if you know this saying, don't burn the bridge that you need to get to the other side. And if you never heard that, don't bite the hand that's trying to feed you. Either one of those. Don't, don't, don't do it, because it will cost you, and it can delay your progress in saving and building your credit. Okay. Uh, yeah, if the secretary or the COO can answer some of the questions, 'cause I'm trying not to keep people here forever, because I know a lot of information, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so I'm trying to keep it short. So one of the things that you have to do is eliminate unnecessary expenses. So you have to ask yourself, do you need all of the streaming services? Do you need HBO and Netflix and Stars and Disney Plus and what's the other ones? I can't remember. But do you need every single streaming service? Cut back on some of those services because they are not a need. Okay? Cut back on some of the things. I know some of us love shoes, right? Set a limit for yourself with the number of shoes. And if you want, let's say, you have to have 15 pairs of shoes or 20 pairs of shoes, if you have to buy, and I say have to, I didn't say want to, if you have to buy another pair of shoe and nothing's wrong with the other 15, 20 pairs of shoes, you need to either sell that shoe, right? Or donate that shoe. Find out what the value is. Most people go to eBay to find out the value of something. Find out the value of it and donate it and ask for a receipt, because it's going to help you later for tax purposes. I'm not a tax attorney, so I'm not going to break that down for you, but it will help you later for tax purposes. Make sure that almost everything you do is an investment into something in your future. And that includes giving things away. Okay. So again, look for ways to cut costs. Okay. You don't have to eliminate everything. I am not one of those people that tells you, like Dave Ramsey likes to tell people, eat rice and beans. Eh, Listen, I can't do that because first off, you're going to get tired of it. And second off, you're going to be bloated all the time with beans. No, we are not going to do that. We are not going to do that. Okay. And next slide. Oh, eat crackers and cheese. No, you can put that in your budget for you to go out. It depends on how much money you make and your cost of living. Now, you can determine if you can go out once a week to a restaurant. You can determine if it's twice a week if you get paid less, or it's if you get paid really, really less based on your cost of living, you can go out once a month. But every dollar will help you to do that for you. The app will help you with that. Or once a month. Okay. So in life, there's always emergencies, there's always unexpected expenses, right? So one of the things that you can do, and that's the reason I have multiple savings accounts, You have emergency money. That's why I said to split up the money and put the most of your 10% in the account that has the highest yield. Now it's up to you how much of that money you want to put, because I don't know your lifestyle personally. You know your lifestyle. So it's up to you to see where you need to put that money. Okay. And if you need help, there's always help. I told you guys my website. If my secretary is still on here, can you type? Let me see if I can type it in. Okay. So you have to make sure that you put aside money for unexpected expenses. It's absolutely necessary. You will have, there's no might, you will have emergencies in your life. Okay. Next slide. Let me see how I'm doing with time. I'm almost okay. Okay. We're going back to this about the impulse purchases. I know a lot of us love a sale, right? When we see a sale, a 2 for 1, right? When we see 50% off, we tell ourselves that we have to have it. No, you don't. You don't have to have it, because you have to look at your goals. Is this going to get me closer to my goal? If it's not going to get you closer to your goal, it is not necessary and it is not a need. Okay. Unfortunately, as adults, we are supposed to understand delayed gratification. However, in this stage of immediate gratification, microwave needs, people want stuff now or they want stuff yesterday. People don't want to wait for their money to grow. And if you keep taking out of your savings, your yield decreases. Let me put it this way. Okay. How many people on here wants to own a home? Trinika is one person that wants to own a home.
Me.
Okay. 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 When you own a home, right, you can pay off that home faster. And I'm talking about high yield. It sounds like I'm not, but I am. What you can pay off your home faster and lower the interest that you're paying by adding more money to the principal, right? So the money that you put in your savings account, think of it as the principal mortgage that you're putting on a home. And the yield is the interest. The higher the principal, the higher the yield you're going to get. The lower the principal, the lower the yield you're going to get. For example, if you put in $10,000 and you're going to make 10% on $10,000, it is not the same as making 10% on $100. It is totally, totally different. So you have to discipline yourself to not keep going into your high yield savings account. And I'm saying high yield over and over so you guys can get it and not put it in an account that's not paying you money to use your money, because that is what the bank does. The bank is the one that moves the stock market. If anyone has ever heard of the stock market, the bank is the one that moves the stock market, and they buy stocks in bulk. They buy a large amount of stock at one time so they can move the market in the direction they want to move the market, so they can make money from the money that you are putting in the bank. That's why I say to put your money in a high yield savings account, because even though they're not paying you as much money as they are making, at least they're paying you something. Because if you put it in a regular account, the bank is still using your money, and the only thing they're telling you is thank you. Thank you is not going to help me to invest in the future. Thank you is not going to help me in the future. I can't pay the rent with thank you. I can't pay my mortgage with thank you. That's not how it works. Okay? So I say high yield over and over for a reason, because I want you to catch what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. So you have to be mindful of your long-term goals. When you see that item that you are tempted to go into your savings account for, you have to say, when I get to that point to purchase a home, when I get to that point to purchase a car, because maybe you take public transportation and your goal is to purchase a vehicle that's not a lemon, even though there are lemon laws, they still sell those vehicles to people. Um, will you be ready? Because if you keep going in the account, you will not be ready. Okay, next slide. I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to speed it up. Okay. Okay. I want to say one more thing. For anyone who wants to build their credit, right? You, I've taught one person that's part of Freedom University. Your Worth It Foundation have a financial course that's self-paced, and it's called Freedom University. If the secretary or the COO can share, type it in the chat, the website for me. You can build your credit by eating a plate of food. And I taught someone this. And they built their credit because they like eating. Um, they built their credit to the 700s. 700s by eating a plate of food. This person is a young adult, right? So they're still living, and this can work for someone that's not a young adult, that's not in their teens, okay, or in their low 20s, that's still living with parents, right? This person likes to eat out, right? And I told them, when you decide to go out, right, once a week to eat food, use, because they went and they got approved for the Capital One credit card, right? They got approved for the Capital One credit card, and they use that card once a week to buy their food at lunch. And over the time that they're buying their food at lunch and paying the credit card off, right? Every month before the end of that month or the matriculation date. Matriculation date is, let's say you open the card on the 15th. Anyone who paid rent before um knows that if you pay, well, some people prorate your rent, not those people, but if you open an account on the 15th, your maturation date will be the next month on the 15th. It won't be on the 1st. Okay, so if you pay it off before the end of that month or the maturation date, it builds your credit. And you can build your credit with gas if you have a car. You can build your credit by eating. You And everyone has to eat. Okay, you can build your credit. Is easier than you think. You just have to have the discipline to build your credit and be consistent. Let me put it in, because I think my secretary got logged off. Let me see if I spelled it right. Okay. Yeah. So, in closing, because we only have 6 minutes, and I want to give you guys some minutes to ask any questions, anything that you didn't understand. I know this is short, and the financial literacy courses out there are not the same like my financial literacy courses. People that's part of Freedom University, they have a more in-depth understanding of the basic financials and how to invest. We talk about stocks, we talk about crypto, we talk about taxes, we talk about tax issues that's coming out that's going to affect us. Um, we talk about when there's an issue and there's a difficulty in paying your rent. I give you some resources to help you pay your rent. Um, I have a lady that lives behind me. I gave her the resources. She's not a part of it, but since she's right behind me, and she was crying to me, I'm going to give her the information to help to pay her rent. It's a whole lot of stuff. This is not a regular financial course, but I want to have it open because I'm tired of the church, my sisters and brothers struggling in the church. And if we struggle, we are the church. The whole thing is going to struggle. It's just the whole thing is going to struggle. So, if anyone have any questions, do not hold back. Please ask your questions. We have 4 minutes.
Um, uh, I want to ask a question. Okay, I want you to elaborate more on the. I know we probably on something else, but when you get your house and everything like that and whatever, and you pay the interest and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like to get your
Mm-hmm.
house paid off and whatnot. Will we
Mm-hmm.
be able to talk about that now, or we have to go to the Freedom Financial?
You have to go to the Freedom University because if you don't have the foundation yet, you're
Mhm.
not going to be able to sustain what I'm going to tell you about the mortgage. I know
Yes.
how to get your car to pay off faster because I did it myself while not having a job. Um, I'll tell you how to pay off your mortgage faster. Listen, I have got the nuggets. God called me for this, but you won't know unless you ask questions. But not about mortgages. Not about mortgages. We're doing the foundation.
Okay. I was just trying. I was just trying to learn something. Yeah. Okay.
But this is great for teenagers. If you know teenagers, they can say if and they live with their parents. Let me add that part. They can save a lot more than someone that has to pay a whole house and car and insurance. They have a lot less to pay. So I suggest for teenagers to pay at least 50% in savings. So, but even if your parents don't own a home, by the time you get 23, 24, you'll be able to own a home and move your parents in. So it's highly suggested, highly, highly suggested. I'm telling you, because I've already helped teenagers and they've built their credit. They're in the 700s. Any questions? We have
Hello.
2 minutes. Uh-huh.
I wanted to ask about a specific teenager that you know pretty well. Um, so they didn't have a job. They still don't have a job. However, they have an Ally account. How much were they able to save on Ally again without a job or anything?
Well, how much were they able to save? Wait, I forgot because I have to keep track of so many accounts. Um, Without a job, was able to save $2,400 because when a student goes to college, right? Usually when they do that FAFSA, usually there's some type of money left over, right? And you have to see yourself as being able to make it and being able to do it. Now, if you have the mindset that you're never going to make it, you're going to use every single dollar that you have. I'm telling you right, you're going to use every dollar. Now, if you believe that you can make it, you can put aside just 50% and you'll still be able to go out with your friends and get a Starbucks chai latte or whatever you you like getting, whatever you like getting, and everything. So it is possible. I
Was
helped.
that
I'm sorry.
was that 15 or 50%?
50. That's for someone that's a
50. Okay.
dependent. Yeah, someone that's a dependent. I want to, since there are no questions, I want to thank everyone for joining me, even though we had some technical difficulties in the beginning. And I'm hoping that these nuggets will be able to help you guys. And again, if you need a more in-depth explanation, you can click on my link that's in the chat and sign up to talk to me for free for 15 minutes. And if you want to join the course, it's also in the chat. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining. And I did not expect so many people to join. Thank you all so much and have a great, great night. Bye,
I have a
everyone.
question. Wait, before everybody leave, I have a question.
There's a question.
Yes.
When will be the next course?
The next course, it will probably be in a month because I'm building the financial course, and I'm finding ways for people that follow the basic foundational principles to invest money. So if you have $100, you'll be able to help put someone else in a home and make 10% on your $100. If you have $1,000, you'll be able to put someone else in a home and get 10% back on your $1,000. So you'll be able to get $1,100 back. And if you have 10,000, listen, I'm working on a lot of stuff in the back for people that sign up for our course. Listen, it's about to change your lives. You want to be a part of this. I'm working on some stuff. Can't tell you right now. It's secret. It's secret. But I'll tell you later about it. Well, everyone, have a wonderful night, everyone.
Very
Thank
informative.
you. You too.
Good night. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.